Business process mapping. In the South African government context, business process mapping is a means of defining and managing what happens from start to end in a business process, leading to the provision of a service or services. Business process mapping is more than just documenting a new or old process, and it involves the following: identifying all of your processes, identifying the person responsible for each process, breaking down each process into the individual steps performed from start to finish. No step is too small to document. Physically map out the steps that are identified either on a computer, a whiteboard, whatever is needed to present a visual image of the process for everyone to see what is being discussed. Business process mapping has 3 core objectives. Prior to institutions initiating business process mapping, the following objectives must be adhered to. Effectiveness. Does the process meet service beneficiary needs? Does the process lead to the attainment of desired goals? Effectiveness means the right job has been done, irrespective of the methods or techniques used. Efficiency. Does it cut down on the use of resources? Efficiency means the right technique has been used for doing a job, achieving a goal, or satisfaction. Adaptability. Is the process flexible enough to change as requirements change? Some advantages of business process mapping. Business process mapping creates platforms where people are able to communicate and share knowledge. Transversal integrated processes, example, standardized processes, easy sign-off on business user requirements, and big cost saving. Standardized integrated processes lead to visible, accessible processes. Auditable processes and system audit trails, example, standardized training, continuous business improvement, support and structure, determine functional structure, and alignment of strategy. There are 4 major steps to business process mapping: problem identification, information gathering, map the as-is, and analysis. Step 1. Problem identification. Prior to implementing business process mapping, it is prudent that those involved must understand the identification process of business process mapping, which cover the following areas. What or which service is going to be mapped? Why is it mapped? When is it going to be mapped? Where is the service being performed? Who is going to be involved in the whole process, and how much is it going to cost? Step 2. Information gathering. It is worth noting that there is a large volume of information that should be obtained before trying to learn the intricacies of a process, where you will need to identify objectives, risks, and key controls of the process, identify the process owners, obtain buy-in from process owners, identify bottlenecks for future redesign, identify beneficiaries' dissatisfaction with the process, identify obvious problems with the process. Walking through the service beneficiary's experience assists the viewer to identify trigger points that can make or break success. Step 3. Map the as-is. This involves sitting with each and every employee and having them describe job specification on a day-to-day basis. Record the information. Each step in the process is recorded and built in front of the individual completing the work. This allows for interactively ensuring that the final map matches their understanding of the work. Only after this is done can the process mapping be completed. Step 4. Analysis. To begin with, managers should be able to identify different work processes that are being implemented. Hence, the reviewer performing the analysis looks at the following: the structure of the institution, skills and attributes possessed by those performing the service, policies and procedures applicable to the service being mapped, institution's working culture, and performance management. However, there are some challenges during rollout. The introduction of a comprehensive business process performance assessment might cause fear in process owners. Introducing a common policy, strategy, approach and standard on process management and the sustainability thereof might be seen as extra work. Minimized ad hoc initiatives might impact on the employees hiding behind non-scheduled work. Critical success factors of business process mapping: leadership commitment, process ownership, design and mapping of processes, documentation of work instructions, training on designed processes, monitoring of compliance, measuring process performance, continuous process improvement, and finally, process review when needed. Using business process mapping notations to map. This will assist in creating a flow chart that will give a clear direction in following a process from start to finish. The following notations are important to take note of. The start event indicates where a particular process will start. End event indicates where a process will end. A final event is triggered as termination of the process. Gateways. Gates or decisions are locations within a business process where the sequence flow can take two or more alternative paths. Decisions can be thought of as a question that is asked at that point in the process. An activity is work that is performed within a business process. Sub-process is a compound activity in that it has detail that is defined as a flow of other activities. A sub-process is an object within a process flow. It can be opened up to show another process. Data objects are documents, data, and other objects that are used and updated during the process. While the name may imply an electronic document, it can also be used to represent many different types of objects, both electronic and physical. Text annotations contain text the modeler wishes to communicate to the reader of the diagram. A sequence flow is used to show the order that activities will be performed in a process. Each flow has only one source and only one target. A pool represents the entire process. Swim lane is a sub-partition within a pool and will extend the entire length of the pool, either vertically or horizontally. The swim lane represents either a unit or functionary. Let's look at an example of a mapped process, using the application for RDP housing for Free State municipalities. The process starts in the first swim lane with the municipality, where they firstly identify the need for housing, then identify suitable land and compile a beneficiary list, and then reprioritize the beneficiary list. From there, the process moves to the community or beneficiary swim lane, where completion of application forms takes place. Then it moves on to the human settlements swim lane, where the verification of the received application forms takes place, and the results of that verification, approved or rejected, are then sent back up to the first swim lane, where the municipality will receive the forms and communicate with the applicants via imbizos and similar platforms. The process is then sent back to human settlements for the appointment of a contractor to build the RDP houses, and that is where the process ends. In conclusion, it is expected that the approval and implementation of this framework will in a way result in improved service delivery. It is also envisaged that this framework will assist government institutions in ensuring the streamlining and pictorial of the value chain to maximize benefits of service delivery. And that brings us to the end of business process mapping. For more information on this process and business process management, please refer to the Operations Management Framework available on the following link. The next building block in this framework is Standard Operating Procedure.